You know, we get this. People get sick. They can't afford to lose a day's wage, so they go to work sick. It happens all the time. Everybody's trying to make ends meet. There's no doubt about it. But most small employers, or most employers, make arrangements for their employees. You know, I'm just one little employer. This bill really doesn't affect me because I don't have 50 employees in my business. But there are many that do. And let me tell you, it hasn't been easy. You know, 2008, this economy crashed, literally crashed. And as a small business owner, I've been sweating ever since. It is extremely difficult to make ends meet today. And I gotta tell you, this really rips me apart when we're doing stuff in government that intrudes on the private sector. Because the majority of people in here have no idea what the heck is going on out there. You're trying to make ends meet. You're trying to pay your bills. Sometimes you can't even pay your bills. But the one thing I know, you try to hang on to your employees because that's what makes your business go. So do I go without a paycheck? Absolutely. Do my employees? Never. That's the reality. And in my business, food cost is constantly going up. Fuel charges, forget about it, through the roof. Can I raise my prices if I want to shut my doors? Because the public, your customers only get paid so much. So that you have to absorb the increases in your business. That's how the real world has been working for the last 2 to 3 years. It hasn't been easy. It hasn't been easy for anyone. You know, I don't care who you talk to. They're finding it very, very difficult to make things work today. But you try your best. You know, you keep working hard. That's why I don't understand why this bill is before us today. My employees that work for me want their jobs. They need to pay their bills. They need to pay their mortgage. The more burden that's put on me, where I can't find any more money to keep my business going, the next step is layoffs. You know, it's funny because isn't the state of Connecticut in dire straits right now? Aren't we looking to our state employees to take less money? Aren't we looking for concessions? Aren't we looking for cuts to keep our government going? If we're doing that in government, what makes you think business could afford this at this time? I'm telling you, this is only going to cost people jobs. You think you're helping your constituency by passing legislation like this? You're not. You're sending the wrong message out there. Ask any employee out there. What would they rather have? 1 hour of sick time every 40 hours or a job that they can go to? And I'm going to tell you right now, the people that this affects, they're going to find out, they're going to have to figure out how much this is going to cost them. And then unfortunately, it's going to cost X amount of jobs just to cover this. So you might help some people, but you're going to hurt more people. You know, when I drive into the Capitol and I see the young people holding the signs, paid sick leave, I got to tell you how badly that turns my stomach. Because the majority of them that are standing out there are young people. And I happen to have 2 young daughters. One just recently graduated with her master's degree, and one graduated last year. And you want to know something, ladies and gentlemen? They couldn't even get an interview in the state of Connecticut. One's working in Boston, and one's in Washington. I never thought in a million years that my children wouldn't be living in the state of Connecticut, somewhere close to me. And it upsets me to no end to see what we're doing here and what the realities in life are. You have to stop and ask yourself, is this worth it? Is this fight worth doing today? I certainly don't think so. I certainly don't think so. For God's sakes, I mean, not even to get an interview with master's degrees. And one is in public policy. I mean, it's absurd to me at this time that we're doing this to businesses. Think about this, ladies and gentlemen. Businesses aren't lining their pockets. You know, owners of businesses aren't cruel people. They're not there to punish their employees. They're there to provide them with a job so that they can earn and pay for things for their families, pay their taxes, pay for their children's education, pay for the roof over their head. If we keep doing this, we're going to have more and more unemployment. I don't know where it ends. You know, we might have thousands of state workers out of a job. They're not going to be able to go to the private sector because there's no jobs there. We have kids coming out of school that can't find a job. They can't even get interviews in the state of Connecticut. I mean, what are we doing here? You know, it boggles my mind. You know, when I'm not here, I put in 50 to 60 hours a week, 70 hours a week. Last Saturday night, I don't know what most of you guys were doing, but I worked 18 and a half hours. And you want to know something? At the end of the week, there wasn't much there. And I'm not complaining because I thank God I'm able to keep my doors open. But it's tough. It's absolutely tough. And you know something? I have employees. I have one full-time employee and his son got ill. He was at Yale, New Haven for a while. You don't think I took bread out of his pocket? Not during that time. I don't need a policy. You don't have to tell me what to do. Most employers are like that. Most employers are like that. I can't tell you how many businesses came out for this one bill. They're all opposed to it. Why? Because it's going to cost jobs. It's going to cost jobs in a time where they're not making any money. Do you understand? There's no money out there. Nobody's lining their pockets in this economy. The state of Connecticut is a perfect example. Like I said, we're laying off people. We're asking for concessions. If it's happening in the public sector, you don't think it's happening in the private sector? Don't kid yourself. Don't kid yourself. You know, I just wish, I don't know how many people in here are responsible for other people's lives, but I feel like I'm responsible for the people that work for me. That if I can't make it and I go under, they're out of a job. They're out of a job. And, you know, they might be able to find a job somewhere else. But I must be doing something right because I haven't had anyone leave me in the last 5 years. My employees are happy because we take care of them. And most employers are like that. We don't need legislation to tell us how to operate our businesses. We don't. But I wish you could walk in the shoes of an employer in this economy for 1 week. For 1 week. And I'm sure that the majority of you in this house will change your mind quickly.